Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be looking at asylum claim in the United Kingdom. We will look at the process involved in claiming asylum and whether or not asylum seekers are allowed to work in the United Kingdom. Let's move on to the next slide. Who is an asylum seeker? It must be noted that you must apply for asylum if you want to stay in the United Kingdom as a refugee. To be eligible, you must have left your country of origin and be unable to go back because you fear persecution. You should apply when you arrive in the UK as soon as possible, as soon as you think it would be unsafe for you to return to your own country. If this is done, you are more likely to be granted your application. According to United Nations Convention of 1951, an asylum seeker is a person who, owing to a well-founded fear of being persecuted for a reason of maybe race, religion, nationality, or being a member of a particular social group or political opinion, and has left their country of origin and has formally applied for an asylum in another country, but whose application has not yet been concluded. Let us now look at the asylum process in the United Kingdom. There are three main processes involved. First, the initial screening interview. Then you have a second interview, also known as the substantive interview. And the final stage is an asylum decision. The initial screening interview. What happens at the initial screening interview? So you would register your asylum claim at a screening. So a screening is a meeting with an immigration officer where you will tell them about your case, why you cannot return to your country of origin. At your screening interview, you will be photographed, you will have your fingerprints taken, and you will have an interview to check who you are and where you're from. You would give information about any dependents, any medical record or medical history, and the main important question, the immigration officer would like to know why you want to seek asylum in that country. Do you have the right to work in the United Kingdom if you have made an application for asylum? The general rule is no. At the initial screening interview, the immigration officer would advise you if you have the right to work or not. The general rule is that an asylum seekers are not allowed to work in the United Kingdom. You are seeking a refugee, and therefore you become a burden of the state, who would offer you protection, financial support, accommodation, and any other means necessary. However, the Home Office may apply their discretion and grant the asylum seeker right to work. This discretion may be waived based on numerous reasons. So, for example, you attend a screening interview and you enter the UK, be it legally or illegally. So, for example, you came to the UK on a student visa or a visitor visa, and for some reason, you are unable to return to your country of origin because you fear persecution. This is just an example of where the Home Office may apply their discretion and grant you right to work. The next question is, how am I able to get the Home Office discretionary right to work in the United Kingdom as an asylum seeker? Now, the first thing you have to remember is that you have no right to work. And therefore, if you're asking the Home Office to give you right to work in the UK, you must make an application to the Home Office requesting permission to work, especially in jobs on the shortage occupation list, such as a social care worker, a healthcare worker, a carpenter, a mason. Okay? The Home Office has the discretion to grant you or not to grant you. Generally, in order to be considered for any permission to work, there must be an asylum claim or further submission on protection grounds that has not been decided by the Home Office and has been outstanding for at least 12 months from the date the claim was lodged. So your request for permission to work must come after a year of your application being pending and a decision has not been made. I shall repeat this so that you can understand clearly. People who have claimed asylum in the United Kingdom can apply for permission to work if they have been waiting 12 months for a decision and they are not considered responsible for the delay. Let us now look at the next stage of the asylum process, the substantive interview, or the second stage. Now, once your case is considered by the immigration officer, then your file will be passed to a case worker. You will then be invited for an asylum interview, which is also known as the substantive interview. This interview will be more detailed and longer. You will give more information about your asylum claim in the United Kingdom. And the final stage of the asylum process is the decision. This is the most exciting and also nervous stage of the process because you do not know if your claim is going to be accepted and if you're going to be granted asylum in the country that you're seeking asylum. Now, your application will be decided as soon as possible. However, it may take longer if your claim is complicated. So it can take up to 2 years before you are given your decision. Some examples of a complicated case may be your supporting documents need to be verified. Maybe you need to attend more interviews, or maybe your personal circumstances need to be checked. So for example, because you have a criminal conviction or you're currently being prosecuted. Okay? Now at this stage, you will receive an email from the Home Office or a letter in the post, and it will say if you're granted or if your application has been refused. Now, if you're granted or refused, it would outline the reasons, okay? And your application can be granted in different ways. So there can be different ways in which you are granted asylum in that country. We would go into the different ways in another video. Okay, so we'll discuss further the types of decisions that can be granted in another video. So please make sure to subscribe to my channel and look out for that video. The famous quote from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 14 says, "Everyone has the right to seek and enjoy asylum from persecution in other countries." And this is so true because human rights is very important for everyone in this world. Human rights is very important. So we've come to the end of another video, and I just want to say thank you for watching. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.